Hello everyone, welcome back to the Red Path. Today is episode 26 of WAAC Weekly, the show where we look at Team Red Path news as well as world leaders out in the world. This week, a massive 362 games played with a 48% win rate. Bit of a dip there, please buff. And also 8 event wins. And into the video. So, back to normal service. Pretty large amount of games played this week. Although a fairly hefty drop in win rate. I think it's the first time since the new codex dropped that we've dropped below the 50% mark. And I wasn't even playing this week to tank that win rate for us. 362 games, 98 players, 8 event wins, all RTTs. Some of them were very, very small RTTs. 2 of them, I think, were sub 10 people. So just keep that in mind. In terms of the rankings, Mathew Tweedel retains the top spot, rising to 751.7 ITC points with his RTT win this week. Michael Hooper of Team Iceland remains on 706.44 for the season after his strong fest performance, staying second. Pete Stuff still in third with his strong fest performance, seeing him to 692.66. Antonius Tolman is up into fourth with a strong performance this week on 692.48. Guillermo Rossi is holding on to fifth with 674.01. In terms of the Red Path, Dara is in 17th with his strong fest performance still, filling out his fourth event on 519.6. I'm in 19th on 513.96. Jamie's in 29th on 464.06 with a decent performance from Gemhammer. And in terms of ITC Team Red Path news, one member of the team was in action this week, Paul Bennett, Krieg, and I had a sneak peek at his list before the video, and it is a Krieg special. He was in action at the Blood Games GT in Australia this week, a 4-round event. His round 1 was a 97-35 win against Tau, Farsight Enclaves. Round 2 was a narrow defeat, 84-93 loss against Salamanders. Round 3, a slightly bigger defeat against Demons, 70 points to 100, mixed Demons list. There was no Be'lakor, I don't think, but it was like a Talaxi, Hellbane, Bloodthirster, something else. And then round 4, a massive win, 131 against Grey Knights. So without further ado, into his list. So all starts off fairly standard. Just Khorne, 10 Berserkers, 10 Jackals, little Angron peeking out at the bottom there. And then, oh god, 3 Kaitans. You got 4 big things running across the table at you. Some armies just aren't going to be able to deal with that, which is very, very funny to watch. And even managed to sneak Khorne in there, which is nice for him because Khorne doesn't get out very much. I don't know if there's that much to say about this list. Kaitans are Kaitans. I I like the model. They're not very good. They might be quite good at 400 points. I've never tried them because I don't own a Kaitan. If I run a Lord of War, it's either Angron or a Lord of Skulls these days. Just because those are the models that I have. Although I do have a Spartan as well. I've not run that, so maybe in 10th. Congrats to Krieg for making me read out this bullshit list. And his strong 2-2 performance. Some very good scores in there, even if it's 2-2. 70 as a minimum score is pretty good for a weekend. So congratulations. And up next, World Leagues tournament performances out in the world. This is going to be quite short this week. There were 15 really strong performances this week, finishing in the top 15% of their events. Not 15, 13, sorry. Strong performances this week in the top 15% of their events. A lot of those were the RTT wins. However, we're only going to be taking a look at one list because only one list finished in the top 5% of their events this week, and that was Mathew Tweedel's list, who is currently top ranked World Eater. He won the 21-player RTT, the Book Stan May RTT. And here is his list. Invocatus with his Warlord trait, 2 Demon Princes with wings, 10 Jackals, 15 Berserkers, 15 8-bound, 6 exalted 8-bound, 5 spawn, squad of 3 and two individuals, and 1 rhino. Yeah, I mean, it trades a Demon Prince, a Demon Prince for some Berserkers, I guess, and then fills out some sport with some spawn instead of the second rhino. Otherwise, quite a familiar list. 3 squads of 5 8-bound is pretty heavy duty. Obviously, 2 will be aimed at the pre-game, but 3 15 8-bound is pretty clearly enough, but it feels excessive. But yeah, a strong list. Good to see two Demon Princes doing well. I know Mike Perry was championing them earlier in the season, but it's good to see them still doing work. I mean, they're pretty good, right? Like 8 attacks at strength 10, -3 flat 3 is decent. I just can't get over the one time I ran them without rerolls and rolled 5 ones to hit. Happens to me apparently. Yeah, but this list is led to the performance that has put Mathew Tweedel back at still at the top. So really strong performance from him this week. Yeah, this is going to be a short video. Up next, we've got the unit matrix. It's just seeing. This is basically looking at what units as well as how many of each was in the top list this week. So as I mentioned, there was 13 lists. This is a lot duller than last week. There were every single list had 8-bound in it, at least 6, and at least 2 spawn. Most lists had Implicatus. Most lists had Implicatus' Warlord trait. It's back to usual service, I think. I mean, like a Bloodthirst with Face Cap made a appearance this week. A decent amount of Night Allies still. Scarbrand was in there. Khorne was in there. That wasn't Krieg's list, sadly. Brigands, Execution is still more popular than Brigands. It's the same story. Yeah. That's basically it. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, I guess, because nothing's really changed. Finally, we have the great game. The part of the show where I look at how many Godline Legion players there are for each particular god, and World Eaters still on top. We're with 576. Death Guard still in second with 480. We're gaining between 25 and 50 players a week at the moment. Thousand Suns, a bit lower on 299. They change a lot more. Funny enough, between 10 and 30 odd new per week. And then Emperor's Children are last on 133. They seem to be gaining about 5 a week, which makes sense because they are less popular because they don't have their own book. So obviously this is a much shorter video. I think there's a certain element of winding down although there's a lot of games still going on, but I think there's a certain element of winding down for 10th, which we're expecting time of recording about a month from now, or at least go on pre-order about a month from now. In terms of other content, we obviously have streams Monday, Thursday, over on Twitch. We have season 2 of All Around the World Eaters starting soon. That will be exclusively on Spotify. There are links down below to our Spotify. Subscribe and all that shit on there if you don't want to miss an episode. We've got some really good guests. Well, Dara's got some really good guests coming up this season, so it'll be interesting. Yeah, there'll be some really good episodes. I mean, we're gonna keep putting out content in the lead up to 10th. The competitive angle is probably going to take a bit of a backseat for now because it's 9th still and everyone wants to play 10th. Having said that, I have got a tournament this weekend coming, a GT, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just taking the same list as I took to my last one in the hopes that it does better and I don't play 4 Bloodthirsters in 2 games. I mean, we'll probably also be doing a stream, a 9th retrospective. Probably me and Dara, but we're not sure about that yet. So keep your eyes out for that. If you don't want to miss it, join the Discord for notifications. Like, comment, subscribe to the videos, all that good stuff. It helps us. yeah, it helps us. Please do it. Or don't, but please do it. But most importantly, stay healthy, stay safe, and kill me both.